What's up, you guys? Friendly Neighborhood Geek here, doing another horror movie review, horror anthology movie review. Um, yes, this time on Dark Tales from Japan. Oh, goodness. What are we about to get into? Um, yeah. Uh, so I've always loved Japan's culture. Unfortunately, I haven't been there myself just yet, but I did get my passport last year. So I do plan on going there. Probably, maybe I don't know. Maybe in 2026, we'll see. Maybe. I'll be starting a new job. Um, at that in the future, in the near future, I'll be starting a new job, and that job will give me the opportunity to travel. So, but I'll save that for another video. But like I said, I've always loved Japan. I always loved the culture, the people, the food, and even especially their horror stories, their urban legends. Um, and of course, uh, my influence through anime and stuff like that. But yeah, I love anthologies. I've talked about a whole bunch on my page. I've talked about a lot of obscure anthologies. Any type of horror anthology I could get my hands on, I pretty much did a video on. This is currently on Tubi, and then another free streaming service. I'll probably put Tubi in the little thing title I put at the end on these videos, so you can watch it on there for free. Yes, this came out in 2004. Wow, I was 4 years old. This had several horror directors, maybe like five, because there's five stories. So that I guess a lot of names and faces to remember. So I'm not going to mention any of the directors, but if you really want to know, you can look it up. You'll find it on Google. Um, Again, this was good. I don't know what the budget was for this. I think this was like a TV movie, so TV movie budget. Yeah, it was fine. The cast did good. The stories were entertaining. They were they weren't for me. It wasn't like super scary. More like kind of like a little unsettling. Like, oh yeah, that's kind of unnerving, or that's creepy. But I wasn't like, oh snap. Like, I didn't get that type of scary vibe. But it was still a good watch. If you like these type of movies, or if you like I said, horror anthologies, or you like Japanese urban legends, I think you'll enjoy it. Um, the opening of the movie, there's a bus driver driving a bus. Throughout the movie, we do see different people get on the bus. This lady, oh, excuse me. There's like this older lady in a kimono who looks like she may be of supernatural, like she could be a spirit, specter, or something. And she's like our narrator. And there's even times where she would look directly into the camera, and talk to the audience. But she's the one telling our stories, basically. Um, and throughout the different stories, we cut back to the bus, the bus and the lady and the bus driver and the other people on the bus and stuff like that. Um, yeah. So the first story is about the spider lady, which, if you have arachnophobia, um, I'm looking, yeah. If you have arachnophobia, definitely not something you want to look at. I don't have arachnophobia. I love spiders. I could own a spider as a pet, honestly. Always like spiders. So, that spiders don't bother me. Um, but that was a good one. Spider Lady was a good one. A news reporter is investigating a sighting of the Spider Lady, and not so good stuff happens, unfortunately. Um, but the first one was good. The first one was good. It was a good first opening. Um, yeah. Second one. A friend goes to visit. A guy goes to visit his friend in his apartment. The friend has gone missing. The apartment manager has contacted our protagonist, and him and the apartment manager go to the friend's apartment to investigate and try to figure out what happened to him. Once they open the door, they see a bunch of like red tape all around the apartment, Covering Crevices, which is the name of the short story. It was a good one. It was good, but we didn't get an explanation of what was going on, unless, like I said, I don't know if that was like an original story or taken from a urban legend or not. Um, and we didn't really see the entity completely, which I was like, that's kind of a bummer. But I liked it. It was fine. It was entertaining. Um, I'm trying to remember. You had one where a guy. Oh, I apologize. I had a busy morning. Currently, it's 11:48, but I got up early and had to do some stuff. Um, yeah, we have a guy who's like on a business trip, and he stays in like a hotel, like not a hotel room, like a rental property or something of someone who was K-worded, and yeah, it that one was cool, but like again, it was just I don't know. I feel like we didn't get enough of that story. It was like if you don't take your ass and get out of that place, like he was trying to pack his stuff, and it's like, dude, f your stuff. Like you can get out, like just run, make a run for it. It's not like damn the clothes and the suitcase. Oh my goodness. There was a few scenes. Some of the stories are like that. Like if you don't just run out the effing door, stop trying to investigate, get the hell out of there. There were some moments like that which were funny. Um, we had one where a girl had a curse placed on her, and her mom, oh man, oh, excuse me, is trying to find a way to break the curse and save her daughter. That was good. That was a good one. So what? Those are one, two, Spiral Lady, the man on the business trip, the girl and the curse, um, the one where the guy visits his friend apartment, and then we have one where a man. So the last one, which was really good and also kind of, I don't know if I would say the most eerie one, maybe. Man gets on an elevator. He's planning on leaving the building, to go home for the day. And there are three other people on the elevator with him, um, who are acting kind of strange, of course. Uh, and things happen. The last one's good. Yeah, the last one's good. Last one's good. Um, so yeah, and then like I said, in between we cut between the lady on the bus, our narrator on the bus, and stuff like that, and it's good. I would have been nice if this got a follow up. So they could do more stories, but it was entertaining. It was good. Like I said, if you like anthologies or you like Japanese horror, you could watch it. Am I more like how likely am I to rewatch this one? Compared to other ones, I'm not sure. Like if I was to have a anthology marathon, of course I'd add this to the list. I'm not sure. There might be some other ones like this, not like specifically a sequel to this specific one, but I think there are other anthologies, J horror anthologies. So I would like to check those out at some point. Um, but yeah, yeah, like I said, it's on Tubi. It's on Fossum. I think Fossum TV, which is a free streaming service. So again, if you're interested, like, comment, share, and stay tuned for more. I don't know if I read this at the beginning. 5 of Japan's best horror directors race to reach the outer limits of fear. Okay. But yeah, I recommend it. Check it out if you're interested. Peace, you guys. What's up, you guys? Friendly Neighborhood Geek here. I'm doing another. I put my phone on silent. I apologize. Doing another Halloween oriented movie review. this time on 1983's. See if I can get this right. Uh, something wicked, this way comes. Something wicked this way comes. Cool. This was adapted from a book by Ray Bradbury, who, from what I've heard, is a very well known author during his period. I believe the original book came out in 1962. This was directed by John Clayton. I recently found out about this movie. There's a YouTuber I follow who did a video talking about it, and he said that this was recently added to Disney Plus. So yes, back in the '80s, this was a Disney production. So if you want some more background information on the making of this movie and how it all got, the process of getting it made and stuff, I recommend his video. But for my 10-minute TikTok review, I'm just gonna kind of give a brief synopsis on the story and, briefly talk about it. Um, so it says, what would you give a man who can make your deepest dream come true? Interesting. So I would kind of put this in like the family Halloween category. I think this one's a little bit more darker than your average Halloween family movie. Like Halloween Town, um, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, Boy Who Cried Werewolf, um, like like those, like the Goosebumps movie. I'm sure there's probably some others. I would kind of put this in the category as like the Midnight Hour, which is what now one of my favorite Halloween movies. Um, but yeah, this just kind of has a darker narrative, which I like. And I think when it came out, it was kind of like not banned, but it was kind of like it didn't do well because I guess parents thought it was too grounded. I guess. Um, So our cast is solid. Um, Pam Grier's in this. She's a very well-known black actress during the black exploitation era. She plays one of the antagonists of this movie, which I was very surprised to see. Like, holy crap, this fucking, excuse my language, that's effing Pam Grier. And like I said, the rest of the cast, they did great. They did fine. So what, so what is this movie about? And like I said, this is on Disney Plus, so if you have access to that, you could check it out on there. We have two friends, two young boys. Um, they live in a small town. One of the boys, his dad, is another main character who also finds out um, that he finds out what's going on. Like when the antagonists come to town, he figures out, finds out what's going on, and he believes like what his son and the other boy's best friend are telling him. That's later on, of course, in the movie. Um, so yeah, we had two best friends. They live in a small town. A carnival comes to town. Okay, you're probably thinking, what's weird about that? Well, this isn't a normal carnival. These people are beings that feed off desire or feed off negative energy or something like that. So we see examples of this in the film. Like there's a lady she's an older lady and she wants to be young and youthful. And the ringmaster, who you see behind me, who of course is the main antagonist, grants her wish, but he makes her blind. So it's like, you're beautiful, but you can't really enjoy it because you can't see anymore. Like you can't even see yourself anymore. So we see that. There's a couple other examples as well, um, which are really cool. Like I said, the imagery in this is good. Like the cinematography is good. The practical effects are good. I think the Stan Winston studio um, did the practical effects for this movie. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's solid. Like visually, yeah. But like I like movies from this period, so visually, it still holds up. From a visual standpoint. Like so, the narrative is still good. I mean, this could get a remake. I think this could get a solid remake. Maybe. Um, but yeah, so the boys, of course, stupidly, they're like what elementary school, sneak out of the house and discover the circus, and I'm sorry, the carnival's true motives, and The ringleader and his minions find out that they know who they really are, so they're trying to like kidnap them or something. And then the one main character, again, his dad is a librarian, so the dad finds out like what's really going on, and the three of them try to stop their plans. And of course, like the dad has a character arc. Like he's an older gentleman. He had his son later in life, so he feels like he can't really connect to his son in areas, and something traumatic happened, a couple years prior to the movie. And they try to the ringmaster and his minions try to use that traumatic experience against the dad. But he, of course, ultimately prevails and pushes through the night, I guess, nightmare, I guess. Um, but it's like I said, it's good. It's solid for what it is. I mean, it's just like I said, if you're a parent and you wanted to show something spooky to your children, you know, I don't know, like I guess it would be up to you if you think they would be ready for something like this or they could fully like understand all of what's going on in the movie. Like, I watched it with my sibling. My sibling is 9 years old. So, I mean, he was old enough to look at it, but like, I don't know. He looked at it on it like he looked at it and he was still doing his own thing. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't like I said, I don't know if I would have been scared by this as a child. I think it just depends on how young I would have been. But I didn't think it was scary. I think it had some creepy moments, creepy atmosphere. Maybe some of the imagery at times was, a little spooky. But um, I didn't think it was. Yeah, I didn't think it was, bad or anything. I enjoyed it for what it was. Um, but yeah, like I said, it's a good watch. It's worth watching once. And like I said, if you're a book reader, you can maybe check out the original book and see if that's up your alley. Which reminds me, I've been meaning to do. I did one book review on Small Soldiers, Gorgonite's Quest, and I did another book review on my YouTube channel. For those who don't know, I have a YouTube channel that I've had longer than I've had my TikTok. I've had my YouTube channel for like a decade now, like 10 years. Uh, so I did do a book review on there, but that's kind of dated now. So I might redo that book video on TikTok. So give me another reason to talk about that book again. Um, but like I said, it's good. This is a solid movie to watch during the October Halloween season. I think the movie takes place during like fall, October or something. So, um, yeah, yeah, it's good. It's a good watch. Um, but yeah. Yep. Something wicked this way comes. Yes, it's yeah, like I said, it's a good watch. Good watch. I recommend it. Like an hour and some minutes. So I mean you can watch it in like a day. Um but yeah, oh yeah, this October, I don't know. It's I don't know, it's been moving kind of fast. And I've watched a good chunk of content, but I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen enough. I don't know. It's a weird feeling. Um, but as of this recording, I do have one more video from not November, from September to post, which will be on Monday. As of this recording, it's Sunday. And after that, it'll be nothing but Halloween oriented reviews slash videos for the rest of October. And some of that might bleed into, pun intended, bleed into November. So, um, but yeah, but yeah. Like I said, as always, like, comment, share, follow. Um, Stay tuned for more. Peace, you guys.